Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video I'm going to talk to you guys all about my foundation and how to get the perfect foundation with dry skin. Now you guys know I battle with dry skin a lot, so I thought I would share the tips and tricks that I love to use to get the flawless base. I already talked about my skincare, so you guys really wanted to know how I apply this to my everyday foundation, so here you guys go. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and until my next, I will see you all then. Make sure you guys like and subscribe because that's what every other YouTuber tells you to do, so I'm gonna tell you too. Alright, so today's video is going to be all about dry skin. I get asked every day since my skincare routine and my video all about dry skin, and I just tend to focus a lot on dry skin because that's what I have, and I thought, you know what, if I can share what I do to help get that flawless skin, then my job is done. So I got a couple of questions about what I do before foundation, etc., and what my foundation routine is to have perfect skin if you guys do battle with dry skin. Now, I do have to say this is a very personal thing, so some products may work for me, but they may not work for you. That's why I'm basically just going to show you some of the tips and tricks that I do before foundation and show you my foundation and show you my foundation routine that I usually use. And you guys know, if you are a watcher, that some of these products I use in every single video. I am going to be trying out some new foundations. I actually have some sitting here right now, but I'm going to leave that for another video and obviously try out some foundations different because we don't know how they're going to work. But today I'm going to show you basically my holy grails of what I use to get a foundation that I know works and to get what I like the look of, etc. Shaves, because I'm a male, unfortunately. I shave my face, so I shave my face every day that I do a makeup tutorial, and obviously my skin gets a little bit irritated, so I do exfoliate nearly every day, and I'm going to show you the products that I do use, but it is this bad boy here. I will leave everything down in the description box. Now, I was sent this product, but I'm not sponsored in any way. I actually really like it, and you guys know I'm no bullshit. I'm not going to put something in a video. 3 of them, and it is like the softest thing I've ever used. And it's like a little makeup towelette. It is so soft. It feels like something I've felt before, but like I can't put my finger on it. So I use this bad boy here with a gentle exfoliator, and I use this every morning just to really exfoliate my skin. Now, I am saying to use a gentle one because everybody's skin's different. I know friends that use like a harsh one every day and it's perfect for them, but my skin is super sensitive, so I don't like to exfoliate as much as I probably could, but this is what I use. So I have started using this to take my makeup off and to prep my skin for makeup. So this morning I used the wet one that's obviously not in the packet. So I used this with my exfoliator, and I just lightly exfoliated my face. This does do a gentle exfoliation without any exfoliator. So every time I'm taking off my makeup, it feels so smooth and soft. My skin feels so smooth, and I super love this idea. I haven't really seen too many around, so I always use this now that I have it. Once I've done exfoliation, I then obviously come in and moisturize. For me, with dry skin, I tend to use oils a lot more during the day. If I'm going to be filming, I will use oils, definitely. At night, I always use oils. So the oil that I'm currently using, which I did link in my skincare routine, which I will link up the top here, is a rosehip and jojoba oil, and this is just literally rosehip oil and jojoba oil. It is a face oil, so it's got paraben free, etc. But I apply this all over my face, and I let it sink into my skin for a good couple of hours before I come in and film. And as you can see, it gives such a dewy glow to my skin, which I love as well. And I feel like this really preps my face for foundation. But I think a lot of people don't realize, even though you've exfoliated, you have microorganisms on your face that are still dry skin that you can't actually see. So you're wondering why your skin looks all gross and cakey and shit when you're applying a foundation. Then this could come down to how you're actually applying a foundation. And what I've learned for my skin with dry skin, I never use a brush on my skin to apply foundation, or I never go in, like I never touch my skin with my hands after I've done moisturizer an hour prior, because the more you touch your face with your hands, you're micro exfoliating your skin, which you might not see it, but you're lifting up dead skin that's on your face that you haven't seen, and that's when the foundation gets trapped under it, and then that's when you cause cakiness and grossness. So I literally lightly pat on my facial oils or my moisturizer, it depends on what you guys want to use, and then I will sit around, check some emails, you know, have a coffee, go down to the shop with no makeup on and a wig, and then I will come back and I'll be ready to apply my day face, or I'll be ready to film. So I like to use that method like I said, this is super personal. It might work for you. Try it out, see how you go. But the less I touch my face, the better my foundation looks at the end of the day. Just going to lightly prime the areas that are a bit red. So I'm going to be using the Australis Color Correcting Primer. This is so affordable and it's so amazing. I think it's like $10 and it's literally my new favorite primer. This is very moisturizing as well. So I like to just let it sit on the skin. So now talking into foundation, you guys know my holy grail foundation at the moment. If you do watch my channel religiously, it is the Matte and Poreless from Maybelline. Now, I think there's a lot of stigma behind foundations. Everyone says, no, don't use a matte foundation, don't use a full coverage foundation, don't use this, don't use that. It's really a personal thing. And I can see that straight away because I used to use matte foundations all the time, and some would work for my dry skin and some wouldn't, i.e. the Marc Jacobs, absolutely horrible for my skin, but the Becca Full Coverage Complexion Cream works amazing. The Maybelline Fit Me is a matte foundation and it works amazing on my skin. So please don't think just because you're dry skin that you got to go over excess it with oils, because that's how your foundation looks cakey and breaks down, because you've plastered your face with so much moisture. There's no room for it to actually really buff into your skin because it's sitting on a layer of oil. So make sure you guys prep your skin prior. Don't just apply like a shit ton of oil and expect it to look amazing 10 minutes after you've done it. I am going to be using the Matte Poreless foundation from Maybelline, but a couple of other foundations that I do love that work really well for dry skin is the NYX Total Control Drops. I absolutely love this. This is super affordable and it is very lightweight, but you can also build this up, which is another cheaper alternative for you guys as well. I do absolutely love the Laura Mercier Fusion Flawless Foundation. Now this is a matte foundation as well. I absolutely love this. This is a bit more on the pricier side. So you've got a cheaper one, which is about $20 in Australia. You've got the NYX, which is also pretty affordable, which I love, but my high-end version is definitely the Laura Mercier at the moment. I do love the Becca one, but it is super full coverage, so I don't want to use it for today's tutorial. So I'm going to go in and use my Real Technique sponge. Now, a lot of you understand that I feel with my experience as a makeup artist, applying a foundation with a brush is lifting up those dead skin particles that you can't see, and that's when the foundation gets trapped under it, and it doesn't help. I promise you, test it out, try it. I'm not saying my opinions are right. These are my opinions. These aren't fact. They're just what works for me. So I like to use a sponge no matter what foundation I'm doing, whether it's dewy or matte, I will always use a damp sponge. Okay, so I'm going to apply a little bit on my forehead, my five head, or whatever you want to call it. Now, what I think works best for me is I do, for this procedure, like it's a fucking surgery. I do take a fluffy brush or a denser brush, and I like to set my face using a powder, like a loose translucent powder, and I'll go in and press it into my face. Not circular motions because you're going to lift that foundation up, but I like to just press it into the areas. If you don't want to wear concealer or you just want a light thing, I would just do a translucent powder and just lightly start dabbing it into your skin. I would focus less on the areas that do get drier and cakier. So for me, I definitely are on my chin and my top of lip. So I'll lightly dust over that, but I will go in and set the rest of my face. You guys can click off the video now if you want, but if you guys want to see how I do everything, then this is going to be for you. Now I do take my concealer and I'm going to be using one that is more my shade of foundation. Why I do this for me personally is if you are highlighting areas that have dry skin, using a lighter product is going to bring more light to that area. It doesn't necessarily reflect it or absorb light. So if you are highlighting anywhere on your face, as you would know, it brings out the texture in your skin. So it's the exact same thing with dry skin. I see a lot of people going in with concealer that is like the highlighting under their eyes, but they're applying it over their face or trying to color correct or do anything like that, or try and get rid of it. The lighter your concealer is, the more your eye is drawn to it. So you can see my face is pretty even. But if I go in and put a light concealer all the way under here and here and here, it's going to bring out that area more. So it's going to, if that area is dry, it's going to look more dry because I'm bringing so much attention to it. So I will go in and use a skin tone concealer underneath my eyes to first cover any bags or wrinkles, you know. So I'll use this first, and I will use this where I want a little bit more coverage without trying to bring too much attention to it. A concealer that isn't too drying. I find the Tarte Shape Tape is pretty drying. The ColourPop one for me is super moisturizing, so I love that, and that's why I use it. But after this, I will then go in with a lighter concealer and highlight underneath my eyes, but I won't put a lighter concealer down the sides of my nose or under my chin anymore, because I feel like it brings attention to dryness if there is any left. Because my babe Kristen Leanne here on YouTube, I will link her channel down below, she told me about the Becca Soft Blurring Light Powder, and I was like, oh my god, I have that. I'm gonna totally use it. So what I do now is I use a brush to lightly set underneath my eyes without putting too much powder and baking. I feel like it does crease my under eye, and it doesn't work for me. I know it works for a lot of people here on YouTube. I know it works for Michael so well. I know it works for Shani, but for me it just doesn't really work. So I'm just showing you guys a technique that I use. But I just look up and I just pat this underneath my eye. Okay guys, so now that I have done my under eye, it does look a little pink, but like I said, it goes away after I get rid of the excess. So for the rest of my face, I'm just going to buff in my translucent powder by Kat Von D. I am still on the fence about this. It works really well for setting the rest of my face, but I do not like using it anymore for my under eye. I just feel like it doesn't work as well. So like I said, I come in and press it into my skin. So you're not lifting up any areas that are dry because you're not swirling it. We'll then go in and do my contour, my bronzer, my blush, everything. And then that's basically it. This is my foundation that I will do. I will go in actually and use a e.l.f. Mist and Set right now. So this is just a setting spray. You can use any that work really well for you. If you guys want to use a more dewy base, I recommend the Touch of Dewy Skin Mist, but use a little bit because it can make you really glossy, and that can separate your foundation. Okay guys, so I'm going to apply the rest of my foundation and the rest of my face, and then I'm going to be back. Alright guys, so now I am back with the rest of my makeup done and the foundation base that I did for this tutorial. So I hope you guys really took this and learned some things from it, because that's the main reason why I did it. If you guys have any questions, then make sure you guys leave them down below. I will definitely get back to them. And until my next video guys, I will see you all later. Bye!